Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Manifesting Mondays on Practical Magic. This is the episode that you've been waiting for because this is all about new things, right? Help me welcome with you, will you, Tracy Locke, please, and professional life coach and light docent Kim Mazzella. I'm Donna Vee. I'm your host, and I'm so excited to be here, ladies. I missed you. It's been a week, and I hate being apart that long.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I look forward to this every Monday. I'm just so excited to be here always. See your smiling faces. And I love to see all the people saying hello. It's always so exciting. And this is such a cool show because this is all about new beginnings. So I'm so excited to find out some new beginnings and some great things. And I just wanted to clarify that new beginnings is such an exciting topic. And we've had so many people write to us about new beginnings because they're going through so much stress right now. So my job as like the audience questionnaire is going to be interpreter. I'm going to call myself an audience interpreter. It's to take those questions that we get and interpret them in a way that's super basic, super down to earth, and everybody can use and utilize. So I just love your wisdom, ladies, and I'm so excited to get some tonight. Kim, how are you feeling?
I am feeling really fine. I just came off a little mini R&R trip to Chicago, which was phenomenal. What a great city. I really had such a great time. It's like hard to be home, but I'm so thrilled. It's such a joy to be back with you guys. So you definitely made coming home worth coming home. So I'm happy to be with you guys tonight.
I have to ask the question. How was the weather? Did you get good weather or was it freezing?
Oh my gosh. So I need to talk about this for a second because, I'm intuitive, right? So the first time I pictured it when we were pre-paving it, I pictured rain, right? I'm like, oh no. So I actually, in my head, every time I would think about it, I'd imagine just parting of
the seas?
Parting of the seas. And it was just like, and the sun shining in. As we're going, the day before we went to Chicago, it was like 50. We get there, it's 80 and sunshiny. We're there the next day, it's 80 and sunshine and rain.
No.
Can
I tell you, no. Are you serious?
And I have to tell you, I was like the whole time, like, I love manifesting. It's the coolest thing. And I kept doing it like, it's going to be so fun. And the things I teach, I talk about bringing in that good feeling into your heart. So I kept picturing us having such a fun time in beautiful weather. And I'm telling you, it works. Everybody needs to do that. Manifesting technique, because it really does make a massive difference.
Yeah, like the pre-paving. I'll tell you what, I wish I would have known that when I went to Chicago, because Chris and I went to Chicago in May a couple of years ago to see a Cubs game. We were so excited to go to Wrigley Field. It's going to be incredible. And it was freezing. It was May.
Yeah.
We were in blankets. We had sweaters on, sweatshirts. Everything was pulled down. And I have a really good friend who lives out in Chicago. And she was like, we get about 30 days of warm and then the rest is freezing. So I'm so glad you got great weather. That's so cool. And I have to ask the question, did you do the deep dish?
Yes, we did. Lou, what's the name of that? My boyfriend who's watching me is going to kill me.
Oh, God. Sorry. Okay. But it was good.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. It really was worth it. Everybody should try it.
Everybody should try that and manifesting, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, if you can make it happen, anybody can make it happen because you're an excellent teacher.
Yeah, I know. You want to manifest that you don't choke on the cheese. Am I right on those pizzas? Those pizzas are like this much cheese.
It is. Absolutely. And I will say this about the manifesting thing. When I got to it, when I saw that and I saw rain and I saw icky weather, I'm like, oh, that's going to suck. And then I thought, well, why don't you attempt to do what you teach, Kim? And it's okay, because the first couple of times I would feel bad whenever I picture the trip. I'd feel that, I can't make this happen. And then I said, no, just do what you know to do. So I would bring in that good feeling into my heart, get that all centered and squared away, and then start picturing the trip being so fun. And I'm telling you, it really worked. It really worked. We can move mountains. And can you imagine if we did it all together? Together, we can move so many more mountains. We really can.
Together, we will definitely move some mountains.
I know that's a heck of a segue, Donna. Take it away with that.
Well, one of the mountains that we're moving is we are rebranding, because one of the things that we have discussed and want to bring to you and share with everyone that is one of our, our friends and our viewers, either on Facebook or on YouTube, we're pretty excited about the fact that we do a lot more than just manifesting. And we know it is practical magic, but I think that one of the things that we love about each other and everyone that's coming on, especially the guests that we have lined up in the near future, is that we are open-minded and we are mystics. And I mean, what do you think about that?
I think it's awesome.
I think it's awesome because open-minded mystics means that we can really open our doors to so many more conversations, so many more groups of people. And I just think it's really interesting that, I mean, obviously manifesting is something we love to do and it falls under it. So is magnetizing, so is a law of attraction. But instead of it always having to go back to manifesting, we wanted to kind of open up the world to a bigger, a bigger forum. What do you think, Tracy Locke? What do you think about that?
I'm excited about it because being the person, the layman, the person that's learning the most in this group, I'm so excited because there's so many incredible things out there that I've always been so curious about. And I listen to a lot of different podcasts, watch a lot of different shows, read a lot of different books. So I have so many questions. And the manifesting has been incredible, but then you open one door and then another door opens and then another door opens. And it's like those little calendars where there's candy in there. I'm like, oh my God, this is so exciting. I can't believe this leads to that, which leads to this. And it all seems like it's puzzle pieces and it's layers. So the fact that we can go deep into those layers and really find out and delve deep is going to be super exciting. I just cannot wait. And we get to meet incredible people. Like, I'm so excited to have people on to interview and, really, really find out about different things that I've always been dying to learn, but been too afraid to ask. And I think that's what's going to be a great part of the show is that there's no dumb questions. Because
Absolutely.
We're going to be open-minded, and I don't want to give anything away, but we are open-minded, and we're allowing ourselves to open up our minds and to open up other people's minds. But with that comes a little bit of trepidation. Like a lot of times it's like, oh, I'm learning something new. Can I ask that? Is it offensive if I ask this? We want to make sure that everybody understands we're going to ask the nitty-gritty questions, the basic questions, and then the super elevated questions. So you're going to get the whole range of what goes on the show. So that's going to be amazing.
And you know what OMM sounds like, right? Oh.
Wow. I heard the vibration, Kim, when you did that. Go ahead. Do that again.
Wow.
I'm hearing
that.
That's pretty low. You're like a Buddhist monk. What's going on over there? Like,
well, I mean, in my classes, I actually do the toning. So that's considered toning. So I love that tone because I feel like it opens up your, like Shishum and I always talk about the middle channel. One of the things I love about the open-minded idea and the mysticism. So I love the idea that it's not necessarily everything that we're masters of. We're learning. When you watch, we're learning too. And not everything here that we're going to be talking about or knowing about, we're going to explore. And I love the idea of being open to new experiences, open to exploring. And mysticism, the idea is that which you can't see with your eyes, exploring things that are a little bit deeper. Maybe we won't necessarily know everything about that, what we're exploring, but I love the idea of continuing to grow, and we're all seekers here. So I love the idea we're going to bring on some new people. We're going to learn about some new things, and that we're just, if you stay with this program, you're going to learn as we learn too. And we get to bring the wisdom and the knowledge that we have, our own knowledge base to that mysticism. So it's exciting. I'm really looking forward to all that we're going to do.
I know. So it's Open-Minded Mystics, ladies and gentlemen. As Donna and Kim said, we have a brand new logo that we're going to be releasing, which is so exciting. We've got theme colors. We're going to have theme music. It's going to be a killer show, basically, ladies and gentlemen.
We're just taking it another notch up. I mean, remember where we started from? Months and months ago, we started with manifesting and a conversation and an interview between Tracy and myself. And then 2 weeks later, we said we need to have Kim as a part of it. We had Kim on, and ever since then, the momentum has just been really building. And I think what's really amazing about that is that, like Kim said, we have these three components. It's Kim is the mindset coach, like Docent, and our expert. And then I definitely dabble, and I definitely know things intuitively. And then Tracy is like, I don't know. I love it because I like the fact that you are like the explorer of the group. But when we learned about our archetypes, that actually goes so well with exactly where we are. I mean, it's kind of funny how it's all just playing out.
Yes.
And now it's just, we're going to expand it even further. And we
Yes.
would love input from our other seekers that are watching with us, you know, our other mystics, because we're all open-minded mystics. It's not just, like Kim said, not just the three of us. It's anyone that's watching and anyone that we're going to have join us, which is so exciting.
I know, this is going to be fantastic. So I'm like the grasshopper of the group. You guys can call me Grasshopper. Remember Grasshopper? Kung Fu, he learned everything. So I'm an open book and I'm so excited. So let's talk about new beginnings, ladies, because not only are we having new beginnings with our show, it's new beginnings now. The world is opening back up and people don't really know how to feel about it. Like some people are super excited about it. Some people are super trepidatious about it. Some people kind of feel flat where you don't really know how to feel because every state, every town is different with how they're doing it and what they're doing it. So there's a lot to be handled right now as what I'm feeling personally. As I said, when I started this journey with you guys, I started meditation. I've upped my meditation because I definitely feel like I need it, which has really been great for me and centering me and keeping me calm. But I'm definitely feeling, the anxiety of like, okay, things are starting to get back and ready or not, here the world comes. So maybe you guys could speak to that and some of that energy and dealing with crazy energy that's not really defined. I think we've talked about this just separately as just people of like the world it's like all over the map. We're all over the map. People are all over the map. Feelings are all over the map. How are we going to center ourselves and get back to starting something new?
Okay, can I take this?
Yeah, I would love you to take that.
Okay, I love this idea.
Grounding. You go.
So when energy's all over the map, the best thing that you could do is get grounded, right? So one of the things because I actually really had a rough day. I had such a great weekend that, one of the things about energy is, and my first teacher used to say to me, don't necessarily let yourself get so high, because when you get high, energy needs to balance itself out. So expect that you may come down, right? And that's okay. We should have experiences that take us up, but we have to prepare ourselves for those downs because they may happen because energy needs balance. Energy and balance is really what we're striving for. That sounds so boring, right? But balance sounds boring. But when you get the hang of balance, that's where real ecstasy comes from. The thing about when you feel like all over the place and scattered, and this is why meditation is so important and grounding is so important. They're two different things, by the way, but they can be the same. So going for a walk can be meditative, right? Mm-hmm. And grounding at the same time. But meditation is about just like bringing your focus back to almost nothing, right? To as little as you can, so that you can get back into your space and then create from there. So what will happen is the world seems really crazy. The world will tell you everything's crazy. And if you look at the world a lot, and if you live by looking outwardly, you will definitely not feel good right now, because you can turn on the news, or you could just step outside and listen to people who are upset or angry, or I had this interesting thing that happened at the airport today where I didn't realize that a woman unplugged my phone from the wall and plugged in her phone because I was behind, and I turned around and I looked at it, and my phone was, this is like 20 minutes. I was like, she unplugged my phone, right? And then I thought, like, I was finding myself getting really mad, and I'm like, what am I going to do about this? Like, how is it going to benefit me to go up to that woman and say, how dare you? Like, she's going to get on a plane, and like, so I spend the next like 10 minutes forgiving her, like asking for blessings for her and asking that she be lifted in light, and at first I was like, I don't want to do this, right? But when I did it, because I kind of toe the party line, so I did it. And what happened was, when I got on the plane, I felt really calm. I felt really good about life. I wasn't wrapped up in the fact that she pulled my cord out and plugged her phone in behind my head, right? And I mean, it wasn't a nice thing to do, and it has nothing. She has her own karma she's working on. But for me, I didn't own any of it. And so I think the thing is, it's easy to get wrapped up in, how dare she? It's so easy to get wrapped up in what they're doing. And I guess you have to always make a decision. So I posted today, right after that, I'll do my best to make the best of it. Because the truth of the matter is, I get it. I had a choice in that moment. And the choice was I could yell at the woman for doing what she did, or even look at her. She made the decision to do it. She knew what she was doing, right? I could look at her and say, how could you do that? Like, how was that going? This woman isn't my life. We're not creating a relationship. We're not going anywhere. That's her stuff. I got to stay on my side of the road. So my decision just to let it go, I didn't just let it go and pretend it didn't happen. I let it go and did the work. And the work is I spent the next 10 minutes forgiving her. I asked that she's lifted in light. I recognize it. Like, I recognize that I'm owning this experience. And some people could say, well, how is that working through it? But it's working through it because I didn't want to drag that with me onto the plane. And then because I know the way energy goes forward. So when we're trying to start something new, we got to really make a commitment to make the best of it, because there is always going to be the next pandemic. Maybe not so big, but there's going to be the next drama. Life is going to give you the next drama. It's not, if we could understand and accept that life is actually by design going to give you challenges, and if you could just accept challenges are going to keep coming, and sooner or later I got to make a decision not to allow them to just define the way I feel. Not to allow the challenges that come to be the decider of how I feel. To say, okay, this woman did this bizarre thing, and I can use it to justify my anger that I had already, because we're all angry for different things, or I could use it to catapult my energy. And so I did. I used it to catapult my energy, so that when I got in a plane and my boyfriend and I looked at him and was like, can you believe that woman? I'm like, I'm so grateful for her, because I just spent the last 10 minutes forgiving her and raising my energy up, and she, like, that, it forced me to do that. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I have a question though regarding exactly what your boyfriend did. So that, because I've experienced that a lot, and I just wanted to see, what do you do? So you're working through it your own way, whatever you're doing. Kim is working through it, and then your boyfriend says it again to, like, kind of almost commiserate / trigger. Not purposely. He's not doing that purposely, right? But it's like almost like he wants you to get on that bandwagon subconsciously of, like, wasn't that woman a real, jerk off? How do you diffuse that without dismissing what he's saying, but also acknowledging what you were doing?
Well, on the level of the earth plane, it was a really weird thing that she did. It was a very obnoxious thing. So I was like,
unfortunately, not that weird nowadays. You tell me that, it doesn't seem that weird to me, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, it seems like a jerk thing, but it doesn't seem that weird.
So what I chose to do is I agreed with him. Yeah, it was really crazy. But the thing is, and I said, do you want to finish watching WandaVision? Right. I just went to the next thing. Like, I don't want to sit there, and I just work through it, right? He chose not to. That's okay. He may have worked through it for all I know and got to that point where he thought it was funny. I mean, I still don't think it's funny, but I actually I don't feel bad about it. I just felt like that was her stuff. I'm so grateful that because I wouldn't have spent the next, Donna went away. I wouldn't have spent the next 10 minutes connecting to my higher self. I wouldn't have said, oh, I got to raise my vibration if that hadn't happened. And I know I've been doing it long enough to feel like almost like the universe gives me these opportunities to focus on raising up my vibration. If that makes any sense. So that's really kind of what happened. And it's not because I'm so goody two shoes or so great. I just didn't want to get on a plane and feel bad because I don't like to fly, right? So I didn't want to get on a
because that plane. It just eats away at you. It's going to eat away at you. She didn't even think about. Obviously, she's not thinking about you. She wouldn't have done that. So she's definitely not thinking about you when she gets on her plane, but you'll be stewing over her.
Right. Yeah. And so I don't take any medication. I don't like to fly. I don't do anything. I just get on and I keep doing like the stuff I can to overcome my fear of flying. So if I had let that woman allowed that experience to bring my energy to the point, be below content, right? Because I always say that if we go below content, then we are in the vibration of fear. And if I had gone to the vibration of fear and I had allowed my energy go down there, when I got on the plane going to do something that I need to that I spent the whole day pre-paving, I didn't want to take off and cry. And I tend to cry, right?
Yeah, you're white knuckling it the whole way.
Well, just the first like 5 minutes, and we took off, and actually my boyfriend looked at me and was like, "Oh, that's the best you ever did," right? And so maybe that woman came into my life to really focus me on raising up my energy, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
so
totally
I know
makes sense.
Sounds like a crazy thing. So, and I know we're talking about new beginnings, but I really feel like if we can understand that the Course in Miracles says that everything of the ego is also an opportunity of the Holy Spirit. That's what the Course in Miracles says. So if you can think of it as everything of fear is also an opportunity of love. That's the way I would translate it. So that thing could have been something that could have ruined my flight, but it actually was the thing that catapulted me into the calmest flight I ever had. Right.
Which is
so
awesome.
Now,
yeah, that's an incredible thing. But I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask Donna. Okay, Donna, can you hear me over there? No, she cannot. Okay, so I'm going to ask Kim. Okay, Kim. Okay. So the question is this: you worked really hard.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can't hear you at all. I'll be right back. Keep going.
Okay. All right, perfect. So anyway, Kim, on that note, so I totally get what you're saying, and it totally makes sense to me to raise your vibration and deal with it. But then, and it's nothing to do with your boyfriend. It has to do with just people, especially Donna would know. She'll know this. It's like people keep asking you about that said scenario, right? Like and they keep dragging it back. How do you get yourself out, but also deal with other people without getting dragged back into it? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's easy when you have the tools to get yourself out of it. But then when you have people surrounding you that keep asking you about it, and it feels like almost pulling you back down, how do you then keep up?
Boundaries.
So you hear me. Okay. That's why I said, this is actually a question for Donna. So my question was, okay, you got it. When Kim was saying like, this woman does something crazy, and 9 times out of 10, anybody that I've hung around is like, can you believe that woman? Can you believe that woman? And we just keep talking about it. And you're like, okay, I don't want to talk about that woman anymore because I'm working through it and I need you to let it go. Yeah, but then that feels like I'm dismissing the other people. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like,
No, I think that I apologize. I couldn't hear, and it was like frustrated, but I made it through. So this is the thing. That was my aggravating point right there, which was, well, I could either disrupt the show or disrupt the life or disrupt the job or disrupt whatever it is, and just sit there and say, hey, I can't hear, or just deal with it and get through it, which is what I'm doing. But I can tell you this, it's because of success of the show, success of the business, success of the greater good. And I think that's what it is. Now, I'm not going to be able to answer like from a life coach perspective, but I can answer as someone who has been life coached. And it's funny because I reached out to Kim the other day and I said to her, I'm having a really rough time. And I knew that she was busy with what she was doing and we couldn't connect because it didn't work for either one of us. But just knowing that she was willing to connect and willing to give me her energy was a step in the right direction. It helped me go up that emotional scale. And truthfully, for me, I had a big a moment this week that I can speak of. I think all of us can speak to this. You can either let everyone drag you down and realize that you're going to be underwater and you're going to feel like really like, oh my gosh, or you have to just be the responsible person to save yourself. You can't wait for somebody else to come over with an oxygen mask. You have to say, okay, now it's my turn to create the boundaries and catapult myself up from a low place and say, well, I know what I want for myself. I know I can sit. Just like the last week, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, Kim asked us to sit and think about the time where you were in a happy place and you were on a beach. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Well, I remember a happy time when I was successful and I felt free and I felt that my job was not a job. I felt that it was, it was art that I was creating on people and there were people that appreciated it. And I realized, oh my gosh. For me, I mean, it could be somebody else's, wedding anniversary and they could have forgotten what good points were there in their marriage. And now it just stinks because their marriage stinks because of something. And for me, I was pulling myself down with my business. And I mean, people can definitely, they can identify with this for whether it's your kids, whether it's whatever. But for me, I realized, oh my God, Saturday is my 20-year anniversary in a business. Am I really going to define 19 years by this 1 year? Like, how dare I do that to myself? Like, I really I had to get out of my own way because I was not enjoying my own company. Never mind. I know nobody else was enjoying my company. I was just like, I don't like myself right now. So what could I do to get myself to a better feeling thought? And it was totally meditation. I put on a meditation by Joe Dispenza, and then I put on this really amazing music, and I just like kept kind of forcing myself off of my phone and back to sleep. And because I'm a huge fan of Abraham Hicks, huge fan, and the methods and the beliefs. And it was like, I know that if I nap, I can end this little temper tantrum. Like, what do you tell a child when they're having a temper tantrum? You need to go sit in timeout. So timeout is different, like for everybody. But for me, it's taking a nap, it's laying down, it's going out in the yard, surrounding myself with something positive, and not like, inviting people to the pity party. It was getting out of my own way.
I do want to, I want to mention, when you're in a lot of pain, a lot of the times it's really hard to get away from that pain. So the one thing that you did, even reaching out to someone, just owning, I have to do something, right? And I love that Dr. Joe Dispenza talks it all the time. If you want a different outcome, you have to become a different you, right? You have to do what you wouldn't have done in the past. Absolutely. Going back to the question about when someone's trying to drag you down, this is actually the training that we are trying to do, because someone is always going to be out there saying that's not a good idea, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. I wrote Feelings Aren't Facts once, and I had someone attack me, and that's okay. You can disagree with me, right? But the thing is that when you make that decision that I really want to live my life on my own terms, and I really want I'm going to embrace these ideas. The first thing is if I can think about it, I can have it. And if I believe that there's something I want, one of the things that really blew me away is we don't all want the same things. We don't. And if you want something, it actually is out there for you, right? And if you have a desire for something, it's out there for you. And actually, the universe has a path for you. And if you can just remember that in your worst times, that if you're going through that feeling, if someone is saying to you, that's not, I once, people who say things like, oh, well, you can't just think things into being, or you can't, they eventually peter out of my life. They don't stay in my daily existence anymore, because I don't want to, I say, I'm not trying to convert. I'm not trying to, I'm not out there converting people. I'm preaching to the choir kind of thing. Like I'm not really interested in making converts. So if you don't believe what I believe, God bless you. And God, now that being said, the people in my life who will come to me when I'm in those spaces where I'm saying, when I can see that they want to complain, or they want to, there's times I want to be like, I'm not ready to do the work.
Right. Sure.
But thankfully, I've trained most of my friends enough to know that we're not going to stay there too long, right? We're not going to stay there. And if you have people in your life that want to gossip or want to do those things for long periods of time, train them, right? Just train them.
Right. So let me ask you that, because you know what I mean? I totally get what you're saying, but I'm asking you, like, tangibly, what am I doing? So I'm shutting down that conversation. How do I do it in a way? What?
Being impeccable with your word.
Right. So give me an example of how I actually would do it.
Okay, so right now, if someone came in and they said to me, hey, so where's so-and-so that used to work here? And I would say, well, they moved on. And you have to just keep changing the conversation. You have to just, remember last week, I also said something to the effect of getting into traffic. And you could sit there and you could sit at the barrier where the police are blocking that road all day long. And you could sit and hope that the traffic moves, or you can take a different direction. And taking a different direction is, like I said, redirecting or taking that nap. The other thing is, which I can actually introduce one of our sponsors this week, is taking a shower, taking a bubble bath, changing something that you're doing and elevating your own spirit to make yourself feel better. I know you like to garden, Tracy, so going out in the garden is something.
Right, but I'm asking you, Donna, which these are awesome ideas, but I'm saying, because it's practical, and we're talking about, like, literally practical. So I'm in conversation with you, and I keep bringing up those people that, like, let's say, we were at a party.
Say whoever you want to say.
Yeah, we were at a party, and this is a hypothetical. This actually didn't happen, but I'm saying we're at a party and then these people were jerks and they did something and then they left and they were so rude. And if I kept saying to you, can you believe how rude they were? I know them and they acted so rude. Now you're in conversation with me and you and I are trapped. We're in a room and you're not going to get away from me.
You know what the best part is? They left and we're still here. Now let's enjoy the party. And then if you kept saying to me, yeah, but I can't believe it. And now what's going to happen? I'd be like, Tracy, do you want to go hang out with them or do you want to be here in the moment? We're at a party. Come on. Let's remember that you're in the physical space where we are left to have the party. And that goes for the job. That goes for the divorce. That goes for everything. And I mean, I just feel like if you continue to spin your tires in the mud, you're going to be stuck. But if you find a way out, whether it's like, okay, so the car is, stuck in the mud. So then you have a choice. You can either try to get out or get out and walk to the rest of your destination and go back for the car later when somebody can help you out with it. And that's exactly why I called Kim. I was stuck in the mud and with what was going on. I mean, listen, we've all had chaos this past year, but in the sequence of the order it went, reopen the business. You had COVID, close the business, reopen the business, lost the employees, went in, working all the hours. Then it's my dog died. Then it's my daughter gave notice. I mean, it's pretty much like I got to the point where I was like, I'm either going to allow this to kill me or I'm going to rise up from it. Right. I chose to rise up from it. That's the best I could tell you. But I do have to say that we have a sponsor, and I'd like to let them in here because I'm really excited. We are at the halfway mark, so I figure this is a great time to bring in a sponsor. Open-Minded Mystics would like to, and yes, we're going by Open-Minded Mystics. How exciting is that? Would like to introduce you to our new friend, the Dirty Bone Soap Company. I think that's like an incredible name, and their slogan is "For Your Filthy Soul." Now, of course, I'm having computer issues, and I'm totally now like nervous to even try to like get anything going on and up here. But what I love about them is they have an amazing Etsy shop. They have 5 stars on their Etsy shop, which is awesome. And they gave us a code. So anyone that wants to go either on their Etsy store or on, you can go over to Instagram. They will give us a code, and it's called Monday 10 when you go to Dirty Bone Soap Company, and any of our, friends and family here on our Open-Minded Mystic show will get 10% off their order, which is awesome.
Yeah, this is
a little bit more about this company, which is awesome. They are based out of Atlanta, Georgia. They are a Latina-owned company, and they offer the most stunning ornamental soaps. They look like crystals. They are awesome.
Oh, cool.
With the sweetest aromas, from Good Morning Goat Milk Soap to their Black Rose Soap, which is their newest soap. Okay. And it's colored naturally with activated charcoal, which I think is amazing. And it's scented with wild rose fragrance oil and topped with dried rose petals. And at the Dirty Bone Soap Company, you can actually get your own customized soap, which is something that I know we talked about getting.
Oh, we definitely need Open-Minded Mystic soap.
Yeah,
I wonder what that's going to smell like. Who knows?
You know what I could do? Actually, this is something very cool. I'm going to show you right now. I could share my screen because I'm just that cool right now, I think. And check this out. Can you see that?
Oh,
That's
I love
so
that.
cool. I love
How
it.
beautiful is
And
that?
the chakras, it's lined up. Look at that, Kim.
What do we
Woo!
talk about all the time?
Beautiful.
Check this out. Look at these soaps. They have a pink quartz soap. Look at this. It's a pyramid.
So cool.
How beautiful. It's
Yeah,
packaged
they're cool.
beautifully, made in the USA, which I love, right? And like, look at this.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool.
Mini peridot crystal cluster. So like, talk about a gift. Talk about being in alignment with the things that we talk about here on the show. And then to have something that beautifully made here in the USA and 10% off is pretty amazing as far as I'm concerned.
That is cool. So say it again, Donna. So if I go to Dirty Bone Soap Company, and then what do I have to put in to get the discount?
So the code is, when you go to checkout, all capital letters, Monday, and then the number 10. And I can put that up here for us all to see.
Perfect.
And it can be shared by all of our Open-Minded Mystics friends and families. And like I said, it's pretty exciting. They have a 5-star rating on Etsy. And I'm just so proud that we are finding other people that share the way that we think and just introducing them. What's up, Jeannie McDonald, to our viewers, to our family, to our friends. It's really exciting because this is our baby. This show is our baby, and we're so excited to share it with everyone that's been watching, and our audience is building. But how cool is it that we get to actually pair up and partner up with other like-minded companies?
Yeah, and you know what's so cool about this? First of all, I love the name Dirty Bone Soap Company, and I didn't know their slogan, and now that I know their slogan, I love them even more. And you know what's so cool? This is it integrates into like just taking care of yourself. When you have like I just bought, I got it as a gift actually. I got a really cool bar of soap from you, Donna, that I just finished using, which was awesome. And then I was so into like having a nice bar of soap. I went and got another expensive bar of soap, and it's like luxury. Every time I look forward to taking the shower because it's like, ooh, this is so different from just going in there and just getting everything done. This is so nice.
But did you see, one of the things I love about it is that their price point is like,
I saw that. It was the first thing I noticed.
Yeah, the first thing I noticed.
Totally reasonable.
Totally
reasonable.
For $6.
Totally reasonable.
Yep, that's
You
amazing.
see that one? That's their newest right now is the Black Rose soap, and that's got the activated charcoal.
That's awesome. I love that.
I love that they have the tarot cards, and I don't know. I just think it's so pretty. It's so beautiful, and I'm just so excited that they, are part of our network now. I think it's amazing.
Woohoo! I love that. Speaking of part of our network, Donna, I have another thing I want to. Kim Mazzella, who you just talked to, is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, because I know there's ladies and gentlemen watching. And both Donna and I have worked directly with Kim, and I can't even say enough great stuff about her. Obviously, that's why we brought her here. But if you would like her to be your life coach and light docent, she is available, which is unbelievable. How you get a hold of her, you go to Supercharge Your Mindset on Facebook. She has a group there where she gives out free information, but then she has a group where you're actually working together. And if you'd like to work with Kim directly, you can find her at Coach Kim Mazzella on Instagram. So I can't say enough great things about Kim. Everybody that's worked with her is so excited about her. And Kim, I know you're not going to toot your own horn, so we are going to. But I want to say out there in the community, I know it can be like daunting and be like a life coach. That seems so like, I don't know, a lot. But it's actually such a great thing to have because you can talk to her about so many different things. It doesn't have to be esoteric and heavy. It can be like, you know what, I'm feeling really crappy and I can't get myself out of it. What do I do? And she will have something for you to do. And Kim, I have to say, the thing I love most about you is you are the only life coach that I've gone to where they give you tangible things to do, where I have like a walk away with like a worksheet or an exercise, or I'll know what to do. So that when I'm in a scenario, I can refer back to that and do whatever it is and not just be like, I have to wait and ask. So I thank you for that. And that's something that I think is like such a huge gift that the rest of the world should know about, is that there's actual things you can do. It's not just like thinking yourself through it. There's physical things you can do.
Right. I think that when you find out too, like I know one of my experience with Kim, when you find out that the small changes really lead to the big changes. I think people are sometimes often overwhelmed because they feel like, I don't know, it's a huge commitment. It is a huge commitment, but who better to commit to than yourself?
Right.
And that's what I love.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And teeny little things that you do every day, teeny little things. I don't ask for 24 hours of your time a day. I just ask you for 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day plus 5 minutes to meditate. To start out, if you can't find 10 minutes of your day, like, are you worth 10 minutes? I guess that's a question that you have to ask yourself. Are you really worth 10 minutes?
Yeah, you're worth it, kids.
Thank you, ladies.
You're totally worth it.
Oh, thanks.
I think that's amazing. All right. What else did I say? Go ahead. Yeah, do it.
I want to go back. There's something that you had said before, and I don't want to forget talking about it, but you were talking about, hurting someone's feelings, or when someone else is saying something, and so when you don't stand up for yourself in that scenario, that's called giving away your power. You're allowing someone to come into your space and pollute it, right? They don't know they're doing it, and they're not doing it on purpose. Something just happened, right? And so it feels really real to them, and they don't know the work you just did. They don't know that you just raised up your vibration. But if you didn't stand up for yourself, and this is not about, oh, they're a dirty person. Like, it's about saying, I'm so important that I'm willing to voice my truth, and my truth is had nothing to do with you. So I don't really want to complain about anybody right now, right? And why are we afraid to do that? Because we don't want to make them feel bad.
Well, yes, but also too, Kim, and you know this because we've talked about this in previous shows. A lot of times relationships are built on mutual commiseration about other people. And then you say to yourself, what the hell are we going to talk about? Because that's all we ever talked about, right? But you want to come off in a way, I'm asking you, because it's literally happening in my life where sometimes I just want to say, I'm not going to do this anymore, but I don't want to be dismissive of you. I'm not saying you're, just like you said, I'm not saying you're wrong and I'm right. I'm just telling you then I'm not doing it. But then I get the judgment back of like, oh, well, who do you think you are doing that? Right.
That's why I say you have to train your friends. My friends know, listen, I don't want to gossip about people. And I went to them. Listen, I know, like, because I had a friend that we were friends from like, I guess we're 14 on.
Right.
And I used to complain about people. And then when I started learning this stuff, our relationship was, let's talk about them. Let's gossip about them. I mean, we were young girls when we became friends.
Sure.
And he's still my friend. And it's many, many years later. And she learned, I don't want to talk about people anymore. And you know what? She doesn't either. Like, she grew up with me. So she's still my friend. So you train your friends by saying, listen, I'm learning this stuff. And I've learned that, you know, and I love your support in these kind of things. You could talk to people about this. Say, you know, I used to think it was a good idea to complain, but you know, Kim taught me that if I just complain and I don't rewrite my, you know, like, because I always say you can complain, but then talk about what you want to create going forward, you know, because we do need to sometimes vent, but if you're going to vent something, then talk about what you want next. Don't just put it out in the universe and dirty it up, then clean it up and just decide what it is that you want. Or you're going to say
law of attraction says that what you put out there, you're going to get more of.
Right.
So if you know that you are completely cluttered with this chaos and negativity, you have to shift the energy. I mean, listen, I know because I fall short of doing it all the time. I think we all have moments where you fall short and, you know, you just are like, I just don't have the energy to be on that upper tier right now. Or like what I wrote the other day was, I think the high road, the air is thin on the high road.
Right.
When you climb a mountain, that is where the air is the thinnest and it is always harder to breathe. But just because the air is easier to breathe down a little bit below, you go too low and you know what that is? That's a sewer and that stinks and no one wants to breathe that in because it's not healthy. So I'd rather struggle a little bit in a cleaner sense of air, higher up, and the view is a lot nicer from the top, honestly. But it's true. It's true. It's these like silly little analogies, but like I picture it in my mind. It's like seeing someone going up versus somebody like you down is a swamp. Down is like, the quagmire. When you go up, it's just there's clouds. It's beautiful. The sky's bluer. The birds are up there. You know, it's nicer. It's just nicer.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that's something I can actually work with. So I appreciate that, ladies.
Here's a really good question that goes with that, Miss Tracy.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Right?
Right.
Can you read that? You want to read it?
Would you ever say, let's give us like 2 minutes to discuss that and that would be it? Here's the thing. Yes, I think that's like, of course, if somebody did something bananas, like just what happened to Kim, like that's so bananas that you would be that selfish and take it out of the wall, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but I'm afraid that if you even give it that, it's going to just keep going, you know, like it's going to just be like, yeah, and then when she did this, rah. Yeah, I totally know that you have to acknowledge it. You can't be like Gandhi and just act like everything didn't happen. I guess you could, but then you'd be Gandhi. But I'm just saying, like, we are not going to do that yet. So you definitely want to acknowledge it, but I agree that it's just got to be like, okay, I'm just going to move forward and just keep it going and just try to be positive. Yeah.
What I would say is, well, yeah, but let's try to find the silver lining in it. Like because the silver lining in that lady was I got on a plane because I knew like I was being instructed, get your energy higher. Right? Get your energy higher. Because I put out to the universe, I am tired with being afraid to fly. I spent 10 years of my life taking medicine to get on a plane. And I'm like, I'm a life coach. I can't do this stuff anymore. Like, I got to practice what I preach. Because I say all the time, there's nothing I teach that I don't do. So if I can get on a plane And I used to have a panic attacks on planes. Like if I can get on a plane and get myself from one side of the country to the other without taking anything at all, anybody can, right? Like, so I have to, and I've gotten better and better at it because I've set a goal. I knew that if I left, maybe I wasn't doing enough work beforehand. Maybe the universe gave me that gift. Maybe I hadn't done enough pre-paving, but I spent that next 10 minutes pre-paving. I was so focused on, I've got to get on that plane and be above content, because I know that above content is where all my answers are in being calm when that plane takes off. And I was, and it was the best I ever was on a plane. So there you go.
Now you're not afraid. Now you're going to go for your pilot's license.
Exactly.
Things are great.
Carrie Freed, where she said, could you ever give 2 minutes? The only way you'd ever be able to give 2 minutes is if you set a timer and you actually gave 2 minutes.
Yeah, because you know it's going to go way over.
The problem is that's why they have a round and a round clock, and they have somebody that's like ding, 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 because it's the end of the round. The problem that we often find ourselves in is that we'll start talking about it, and then it's one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. So if you really want to try to get out of that energy and get into positive energy, you want to avoid having that 2-minute conversation.
Yeah, I think that's what I think. I think don't even go there, because I just know how things go. It's just going to go way off track. Oh no, I would totally set a timer. Sherry Freed, Superfan Sherry Freed would totally set a timer, but most people, Sherry, would not be ingenious enough to have their watch timer ready going, and they would not.
She's a teacher, though. She's like
keeping you on task. 2 minutes, that's it. That's all you get. But I don't even think put that into the universe. I say like don't even give that credence, because it's the point of like, hey, let's just try to lift that energy up. So Donna, what are you doing how'd you get yourself out of it? Because you seem like you're in much better mood than you've been in, which is great.
Yeah.
Look at that. You're like, yeah, totally.
But I just didn't want to be down anymore. And I said, no one's going to come lift me up. There's no one coming.
Nobody's coming.
There's no one going to save me but me. And
right.
And I realized, like I said to you, I realized as I got closer to Saturday, May 1st, I thought to myself, well, and I will say this, I had a really great conversation with a very dear friend who came in. She's a client of mine, and she sat there, and she was one of the first people, and I will say this, that just listened. She didn't offer me anything other than listening. And then what happened was I started to be able to hear myself. And I was like, Jesus, that sounds really terrible. And we were having this conversation, and I thought to myself, listen to what you're saying, you know? Like, and then the other thing, boundaries. So this is going to sound like a silly one, but it's not. For me, I really needed it. Again, going back, Yogi passed away, right? So it made me really sad. But so when my employees left, I took the high road, and I was like, and I just want to wish everyone good luck with their future. So what that did was it made it so that everyone that walked through the doors went, what happened with them? And then I was like, well, COVID changed things. By the 10th time somebody in a day asked me, I was like, they suck. And I was like, hey, I need some Dirty Bone Soap Company right there, because I need to wash my mouth out. Like, and what happened with the dog was I noticed I was consoling people. They were coming in, and they saw, like, we had that little area where there's a lamp that my friend gave me, and people have brought pictures in, and artists have painted. I mean, like, it's beautiful. What Yogi has done for my community is incredible. And I had to take a lesson from him. You know what? He did it, and he never asked for anything back.
Right.
Like, yeah, he got pets and stuff like that, but that was like the natural response that people have to a kind, loving being, right? So I thought to myself, oh, I got an idea. Courtney, can we put an email out that Yogi died? Because not everybody's on social media. And immediately it stopped the pressure out, because then people walked in and they're like, I know. And they came in like, I know, rather than what happened. And then it was like, I had to relive that moment over and over. But that goes true to anyone that's gone through a divorce. That goes true to anyone that's gone through just a breakup, losing a job, leaving a job. Like, you have to take control over that situation for yourself. You know, you walk over to, like, let's just say I go to, it's called, what is it, Hilltop in Cedar Grove to walk.
Yes.
And there's like a plaque, and it explains all about, you know, that there was this quarantine there for what was it? I can't even think of what it is. I should know this, but I don't. Like a pandemic of some sorts where.
Oh, the Spanish flu in 1918.
No, but we can pretend that. So whatever it was, all these women, all these people had to be,
Oh, tuberculosis? TB.
Yes, tuberculosis.
Okay.
But here's what happened. They put a plaque up. I got to choose on my own if I want to know what happened and why it's a flattened area and what was there. But it wasn't me going and asking a tree, hey, so what was here before? And the tree's like, I just want to be a tree. It was tuberculosis. It was like, there's your email. It's a plaque. And it's like, I think that what it is sometimes is we need to like set the boundary up.
Yes.
And like going back to your question about the party and somebody that says, well, isn't that person a real SOB or whatever the case may be? You have to say, listen, here's my plaque. I don't want to be a part of that conversation.
Right.
Not because I don't want to be your friend, not because of anything. I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in manifesting. And I believe that if I speak in that negative way and ill, and what am I going to get out of that? 5 seconds of excitement and then a ripple. It's like putting a rock into a really glass-like body of water. That's fun throwing it, but then the ripple effect just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Why deal with the ripple?
Course in Miracles, it says we have a confusion between joy and pain. We don't realize that the things that we are so trained to think that talking about somebody else or complaining or looking out in the world, that's going to make us feel better. But actually, we're confused. That's actually because whatever you put out in the world comes flying back at you and increases in you. So the things are attempts to create that feeling of peace or joy tend to in that kind of, so it's talking about someone will just make us feel worse because whatever you put out comes flying back to you and it more intensely. So when you talk about someone, you're going to feel worse. When you complain about something, you're going to feel worse. And we're confused about that because it feels like the right answer, right? Someone did that thing. Let's complain about it. Look at what they did. Look what, that feels normal. That feels natural to complain about it. But that's because we don't understand energy. And the second you understand that when you talk about something, it's going to make more pain in you, you should become a little more selfish about what you talk about. Yeah. And you don't have to worry about hurting their feelings because you're actually helping them too, because you're allowing them not to talk about something negative. And if you train your friends beforehand, that's why I train them before we get to that conversation, they won't feel as bad when I notice it. And you might also have the additional benefit of, because I fall off the wagon, they'll be like, really, Kim, you want to talk about this? Right when I want to fall off the wagon and forget the rules for a minute. So
you're like, sure, now we're not going to gossip, really? Yeah, exactly. I totally.
Same when you go into a work relationship or a loving relationship, like a relationship.
Yeah.
How many times have you done something in, let's say, a romantic relationship, and you're like, I'm never doing that again.
Let me count. Wait a minute. I'm going to get my calculator out. Go for it.
Exactly. But that's it. It's like we have to train all of our relationships. And I know, we're almost near the end of our show. And I will say that I want to tell you one other thing that I like to do to change my energy.
Oh my God, here it is.
It's retail therapy.
Oh, who doesn't like that?
Retail therapy. And I found yet someone else that I want to introduce you to. And I know it seems like I'm whipping it out like so quickly right now, but the problem is that I lost the sound a while ago, but I have to show you this. Now listen, sometimes like Dawn likes to say, I am her scariest friend, but I want to show you something. I absolutely love. Do you see what I'm looking at?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is called, Nikki's Little Shop of Horror.
Little shop of horror. Bop, bop. Go ahead. I'm going to give you background.
If you look at her Etsy shop, it actually says beautifully creepy resin art and witchy gifts. She's out of Portland, Oregon. Okay. And she is.
Okay. First of all, they're going to kill you if you say Oregon, just so you know.
Well, Oregon.
Yeah, there you go. Look at you, Donna Vee. I love you.
I'm a self-corrector, okay? I can
those things are beautiful.
And a self-corrector. Like, look at how beautiful this is.
That is gorgeous.
And just so that everybody knows, Nikki is a lover of animals, and all of this is actually done with like silks and synthetic pieces. So Open-Minded Mystics would also like to introduce Nikki's Little Shop of Horror. Yes, I'm reading it like a commercial. I feel like I'm actually at the Grand Ole Opry right now. And it's like, Nikki's an established artist, primarily a resin artist, producing beautifully creepy resin art and witchy gifts. A wide selection of work is available to buy. Nikki will also take custom requests, which I absolutely love. She had some beautiful things that I saw. And you can go on exactly. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Dawn. She said I'm her scariest friend because you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. But you can find her on Etsy, like I have up here. But you can also find her on Instagram. And there's triple moon dishes to 4-leaf clover necklaces, notebooks, jewelry, and tarot pieces, even stunningly decorated Ouija boards, as well as table coasters and eyelash cases. So Dawn, I know.
Oh my God. Eyelash cases. I love it.
I know. Isn't that great? And it is what they do at the Grand Ole Opry. They have like people going up and doing the commercials. Any encrusted butterflies or moths are synthetic, and no animals were hurt in the process. Nikki describes herself as an eclectic witch, nature lover, horror lover, animal lover, and is proudly a one-woman show. And guess what?
What?
Also, right? I know, look at Dawn. Ooh.
I know, that looks so cute.
They're beautiful, right?
Yeah, beautiful.
She also,
how do you spell Nikki?
I'm going to show you right now, has an exclusive code called Mystics 10 just for our family friends of our open-minded mystics. And which I love about her is that she's got a 5-star rating on Etsy, and all of her orders over $35 are free shipping within the US.
I know.
Amazing.
That is amazing because I do a lot of ordering, and you don't find that all the time. So take advantage of that, ladies.
Mother's Day is coming, and I can tell you right now, I think that's amazing.
I think you should get your mom Ouija board earrings. Would that be amazing?
I think it would be amazing. I mean, honestly,
I love that. I'm looking at it right now. It's right here under the butterfly. Yep. It's so cute.
How beautiful is that?
I know. I love butterflies. I'm a huge butterfly fan.
So beautiful.
Right?
They are awesome.
I love all this stuff.
Oh God, you better not spend all your money now. You know what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking our discounts and buying all this stuff. We're going to have more soap and Nikki's Little Shop of Horror things, knickknacks that we're going to know what to do with. Hey, you know what we could do? We could buy a Nikki's Little Horror Shop soap dish and then
put the soap in it.
30 bones.
I know. I'm excited. I'm just so excited that we actually have, other sponsors that are coming on because they believe in what we're doing. They want to be a part of what we're doing. Next week, I have another one, Lux Potions. But I mean, how many commercials can I do?
You did a great job. Give it for Donna Vee, ladies and gentlemen.
You did a good job.
They were very professional.
I had a little bit of help. I cannot take all this responsibility for all of this because I don't know if anyone realizes, but there's somebody named Ryan that watches from Ireland that's like becoming really interested in what we're doing. And he loves it. And he's doing a lot of the scouting for us, which I love. He's like our Bosley. And I just want to give him a shout out because I think it's just.
The angels say thank you.
Now we have to figure out which way you're going and then go the other one.
Yeah, you go that way. Perfect. Awesome. I love it. Give it for Bosley.
More like this. Ours is more like this. We're not really going.
Yeah, I'll face this way.
Wait, and then I gotta go this way.
Yeah, that's perfect. Oh my God.
Perfect. Who wants a card?
I want a card. Wait, can I just say something that before you do the card? Donna, you gave me Abraham Hicks cards, which I read every morning. And it was so great because this morning I got a card that I needed so badly. And it was, you can change your vibration in any relationship that you're in. Like you can change the relationship by just changing the vibration. Your own.
Absolutely.
Which it was like, I was like, oh my God, it really resonated
program.
with me. Yeah, but I'm saying again, it's like all these layers on layers on layers and layers, and the universe, it just reiterates it to you until you get it. It's like with me, it's like thunk, thunk. So I just had to mention that. But anyway, I need a card.
So wait, we're gonna just do this. Let's see. Can we get this across the bottom? There's both of our codes, both of the shops. While we're getting these cards together, I'm so excited.
Little shop of horrors, bop shabop. Then you get your soap and dirty bones.
I'm so excited. Dawn Maloney said, "Great show."
Thanks,
Thank you, Miss D Money.
Great show. We got even when I couldn't hear you guys.
All right.
You did a great job, Donna. Very impressed.
Thank you. We all did a great job, and We all do a great job. And that's the best part of being a team.
There you go. All right. Get that card out, girl. Here we go.
All right, you ready?
We're so ready.
Who's this for? Everybody?
This is for everybody. This is for new beginnings.
Tracy, come on.
New beginnings. I'm ready. Let's do it now.
Okay.
That's it. Your card
Ready?
is right there. Yes.
Power. Ooh, power. You got the power. I like that. So that's your first card. Anybody that wants to go with Tracy's choices, this is her second manifestation.
Oh, gosh, those are great cards.
That's
Power
a great
and
card.
manifest. All right. I'm taking
Kathy
those
Cousins
on.
says, I've taken so many notes tonight. It's starting to look like a transcript of the show. Amazing. We're going to hire the next Kathy Cousins, and we're going to have the transcripts of the shows. We'll have the written transcripts. You can mail a stamped envelope to Kathy Cousins.
Oh, you know what's interesting though? Girls, while I have you on the line, especially Donna and Bosley, I know you're listening. Let's say someone is watching who really likes the show and wants to sponsor us. How do they reach us?
Well, they can reach us through Instagram. They can go over to, we're going to be changing it to Open Minded Mystics. Right now it is Manifesting Money on Practical Magic.
Right.
You could also go and check us out on YouTube. And now it is changed to Open Minded Mystics. And also we are going to be changing our Facebook page to Open Minded Mystics. It's just easier. It flows its own so that you can remember it.
Mm-hmm.
But
so from now on, starting right now, ladies and gentlemen,
right now, we're waiting.
We are now Open-Minded Mystics.
Logo, but yeah,
perfect. Just so you know, we can still manifest on Mondays, but we're Open-Minded Mystics. We're going to do a lot more.
Open-Minded Mystics. That's right, because we're going to have so many guests. Like next week, I'm waiting for confirmation. I think we have a tarot card reader coming on.
Hello.
All right, Mazzella, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay.
Ooh, you stopped when I said stop.
I did. I listened.
Got control now. She's actively listening.
Abundance.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. That's amazing. So anyone that's identifying with Kim's energy tonight, these are your cards. And new beginnings.
Oh my gosh.
Are you serious?
I don't know what you guys will get.
Oh my God.
All right. This is going to be I'll say this one's for me. And I'll say it's for me and Ryan. How about that?
Ooh.
Okay. I'm like hearing this little
If children comes up, I will laugh. laugh.
They just closed the borders again. So boom, Kim. That's right. Ready? Abundance.
Nice.
New beginnings.
That's so weird.
How could you get this? You shuffle those cards?
Shuffle the cards.
What is this? Are we in Vegas? Is it you a card shark? What's happening?
I'm telling you. And here we go. Let's see the middle card for everybody at home. Pow!
Okay.
Freedom. Oh my gosh, we're like free range chickens. I can't believe it. It's so exciting.
I know. Well, this has been an awesome show, ladies and gentlemen. We are so psyched that you guys tuned in and turned on and got involved. Double boom. I love it. Yeah. And we want to remind everybody that there's no dumb questions, and we want those questions to come in. So when you watch the show, send us your questions. Even if it doesn't pop up right away, it's because we're in the middle of something, but Donna vets every question and we will definitely get to you. And we welcome that. We welcome, more questions. Get involved with this community, because we are creating a community of open-minded mystics and people that are willing to learn and just open up your mind and, try new things. So definitely check us out.
I'm so excited. What a great show. You ladies are my favorites, and I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Hey, have a great night, and we'll see you next Monday.
Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern.